Hi, this is Avrohom Czapnik from the Jewish Learning Exchange. I hope you and yours are doing great. There's a beautiful prayer that we say daily, ideally, and that is the Shema, which is the affirmation of our belief. We say here, Israel, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Hashem, our God, is one. And the custom is when we say it, we cover our eyes. Why do we do that? Well, Jewish law dictates that we say it because it's such an important statement, talking about the unity of God, that we don't want to be distracted by anything around us. So we cover our eyes and just focus on those words and that our God is one. But let's see if we can go a little deeper. This week's Torah portion, the reading is Parshat Vaera. And at the beginning of the portion, Hashem speaks harshly to Moshe. Why? Because at the end of last week's portion, Parshat Shemais, Moshe complained that things got worse for the Jewish people since he arrived. And he was very upset about that. And wanted Hashem, he said, why did things get worse now? Why did you do evil to this people? And Hashem chastised Moshe by using a harsher language, by saying, I keep my word. I promised the patriarchs that the Jewish people would be redeemed and they would be brought to the future land of Israel. I will keep my word. And as Rabbi Yosef Karo explains, Hashem's ways is not our ways. And we don't understand Hashem's ways. And the Sanzer Rebbe Zatzal, the great Hasidic master, explains very beautifully, and he said that in the words of Shema we have different languages referring to God, different terms we use to describe God. And one is the term of the God of mercy, and the other one is the God of judgment. And we can't comprehend how could one God have these different attributes, a God of mercy and a God of judgment. And that's why we cover our eyes, because we don't know how it works, but it's Hashem Echad, one God, who all this comes from. And there's a story told about a young man who was hoping to go visit a yeshiva for Shabbos, very excited about going to this potential yeshiva, place to learn. And then Thursday afternoon, he falls down in a basketball game and he sprains his arm, and he's in a lot of pain. He goes to the doctor, thank God it's not a break, but he's in a lot of pain, and the painkillers aren't helping, and he ends up not being able to go. And he tries to go to sleep, and he's tossing and turning for hours. And middle of the night, he gets up and just, sitting in his living room reading, and he hears moaning, and he doesn't know where it's coming from. Wakes up his brother, and his brother says, it's the lady downstairs who's living by herself, the widow. And they call the police, and they go in, and they save her life. And right after that, his hand started feeling better, and he realized that the reason why he was up because of the pain of his arm was so that he could hear the lady groaning and she could be saved. This is an idea that is important for us. There's a woman I know who lived in New Jersey and worked in Manhattan. And she had to get up early in the morning to go into Manhattan to her job. And she had a girlfriend that was visiting that stayed over, and by mistake, inadvertently, the girlfriend had left and locked the door. And she was locked out of her apartment. She couldn't get her stuff, and she couldn't get dressed, and she had to call in work. I'm going to be late. And she went crazy till she was really upset, till she got the keys, and she opened up, got the stuff, and she started heading towards Manhattan, and she realized that she couldn't go, because it was 9/11. And her train stop was underneath the World Trade Center. So here she was so upset that the friend had locked her out of her own apartment, but in the end, she realized there was a blessing there because she could have been there had she not been delayed. So maybe that's another reason why we cover our eyes by Shema. We don't see the whole picture. Only God sees the whole picture. And we don't necessarily know how it's going to work out. And it's interesting. The commentaries explain that what is the language that Moshe used? He said, from when I came to Pharaoh, things got worse. And later on, by the song by the sea, Moshe says, Yashir Moshe. Moshe sang a song by the sea, using the exact same language he used when he complained about how bad things were, to sing a song of praise to God. Because he realized it's not only the good things that come from God, the bad things sometimes come from God too. And we don't see the whole picture, we don't understand the justice, and we don't understand the mercy. But in the end, it's Hashem Echad. It's a God of mercy at the end. One God. So when we have challenges in life, realize that God is running the show. And when things seem to be challenging, we need to realize we need to turn to God in prayer and in hope that Hashem showers us with His goodness, and hopefully we'll be able to see it not only in the next world, but in this world as well. Have a wonderful Shabbat, all the best, and may everything be sweet and wonderful. Take care.